Ladies, gentlemen, hello, and welcome to Zentropy Aviation. I have a new video for you today. This is going to continue the series with the PMDG Boeing 737-700, and we are going to cover in this video the procedures for taxiing and takeoff and climb to cruise altitude, which picks right back up from where we were last time. We are currently sitting in Kathmandu, and we are making a flight to Paro today. We have been cleared for an initial climb to 11,000 feet. Note that we are currently located at 4,400 feet. So we are pretty high up. We have quite a bit of terrain to deal with on the climb out today. We are basically, the aircraft is configured just as it was last time. We are ready to taxi. We have a VR at 119 knots today. V2 is at 123 knots. Initial climb altitude is 11,000, and we are taking off from runway 2. Heading 018, which is programmed here on the MCP. That is the panel that controls the autopilot. So we have flaps at 10, which is what we're using for takeoff today. The engine is derated to climb 1, and we have auto brakes on, and the aircraft is trimmed for takeoff. So we're going to go ahead and commence taxiing. Take this off the parking brake and begin to taxi. It is slightly foggy out here in the mountains of Kathmandu. The wind is in variable directions at 2 knots, and the outside temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. So that is what we are working with today in terms of the parameters. I'm going to do a quick recap of what is about to happen, because on takeoff things are happening fairly quickly, and there won't be time to cover everything in as much detail. So initially on the takeoff roll, I'm going to keep the yoke down while the aircraft is gaining up until 80 knots indicated airspeed, at which point I'm going to have sufficient rudder control, and I'm going to let go of the yoke into a neutral position. We're going to continue acceleration to VR and take off from there. We're going to hand fly this initial segment that you see, our departure per published SID. We are ready to get cleared for takeoff. Notice that on the map we have runway 2. You can see how it's situated, so we need to go all the way to the right hand side of this runway and turn around there. We are going to go ahead and put on terrain, because that is going to help us during our initial climb out to avoid terrain on the way. We are also going to turn on traffic when there's time for that. And the landing lights go on, so do the strobe lights. To strobe and steady. And we can go ahead and ask for Permission to take off. Request takeoff clearance. We are clear for takeoff. Let's position ourselves on runway 2. At the end here, there is sufficient space there to turn the aircraft around. Just a quick reminder, this is captured in Lockheed Martin's prepared version 5.3. But these procedures are applicable to the Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, or really anything, because they remain fairly consistent. This is PMDG's highly detailed implementation of the 737. So as with the previous video, I am not, I'm doing basically for the sake of brevity a quick get you up in the air scenario here. I am not running all possible tests and verifying that all the systems are functioning correctly. There is ample documentation provided with the aircraft, and I hope that you dig deep and read up on the standard procedures in terms of performing various tests. This here is designed to get you up and flying with PMDG's 737 as quickly as possible. So we are positioned for takeoff. Let's go ahead and just do a last minute check. We have auto brake on rejected takeoff, flaps 10, trim, auto throttle armed, flight directors on. And VNAV enabled. Right, let's go ahead and take off. We're going to put our transponder to TAR8. We are ready to go. Toga. Takeoff config. Let's double check everything. The throttle is in toga position right now. We are ready for takeoff. Not sure what that was, but in any case, we are ready. Knots.
V1.
Rotate. Major. Positive rate of climb and gear up. going to start making that initial left-hand turn. Flaps 5, flaps 2, flaps 1, flaps up. I'm going to go ahead and enable autopilot. As well as LNAV. Gear into the middle neutral position. And we are now on our way. Auto brake to off. We have a speed restriction here, which is why the auto throttle is not going beyond 196 knots. We are at 10,000 feet, so let's go ahead and kill the landing lights, runway turnoff, and taxi lights. We're no longer going to need the terrain here, because we're high enough. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off and switch that to weather radar. And on our legs page, we are heading directly to KTM, which is the Kathmandu VOR. I went ahead and I skipped the waypoint before that, so that we keep following the star. We are clear to flight level 250, so we're going to go ahead and change the altitude to 25,000 feet. Altitude intervention button. ATC is trying to vector us right now. We pretty much know where we're going. We're just going to keep following our course. Let's increase the range. Things can get bumpy in the clouds, so I'm reluctant to turn off the fasten the seatbelt signs at this point until we are out of the clouds. here we are in external view, climbing. As you see, we're past the point where we have speed restriction, so we are now at 284 knots indicated. We're at 17,000 feet, and we are getting close to 18,000, where we're going to switch our pressure to standard. Standard. So essentially the climb out itself is a matter of being cleared for certain altitudes by your air traffic control, and dialing that altitude here and hitting the nearby altitude intervention button. And everything else in terms of the climb out is going to happen in accordance with the planned climb, because we are in VNAV mode. You don't really have to watch until we get all the way to 33,000 feet, which is our cruise altitude, because we have covered all of the basic steps from here on out. It's just continue climbing towards cruise. We are now above the cloud layer, so I feel safe turning off the seatbelt signs. And we're going to continue on from here. On the next segment, the next video, we're going to look at an approach and a landing using ILS, and possibly a Cat 3 auto land. So thank you for watching. If you would like to see more content, tutorials, product reviews, things like that, and if you enjoy this, please subscribe to the channel, support us if you can, and like the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you around shortly. Take care.